Tether him off, we're gonna tether him off, the mother sucker. Tether him off, the sucker. Tether him off, we're gonna tether him off, the mother sucker. Tether him off, the sucker.
Back with the Rod and Fez Show, live on a Monday on WJFK, live 105.7 at 1010 The Buzz.
Well, Fezzy, Friday night, you and I were somewhat distraught to hear that our own intern has been going through a bad time. First of all, a couple things. He came in to intern for us, and I would say that he was your favorite for a while.
Definitely my favorite.
That kind of fell apart. I don't know whether it was because Benicio came in between the two of you, but from that point on, things started to seem like they were going south for him. He was hanging around with J-Dubs and that crowd on the late night show that's here at the radio station, The Hideout. All those guys are adults, though. Our Sid is only 19 years old. And we were thinking maybe he fell in with a little too fast a crowd. He got fired from his job, and this is all in like 2 weeks' time. The other night, kicked out of the house with his parents. And then the other night, got busted on a DUI and spent the night in jail, as well as missing 3 days with us over a 2-week period. So Friday night, you and I just about lit him up, basically like we were, it was like when Spider-Man went through with his aunt and uncle. We were like the aunt and uncle yelling at him that he has to turn his life around. Sid, I didn't hear from you over the weekend. You are back, though. Did you let your parents know you got this DUI? Are you going to wait to one of the things you want to do when you come into a radio station is put the headphones on, then you'll know if your mic's working.
I wasn't actually able to talk to them because they won't speak to me until I get a job.
They're that upset with you?
Yes.
So they don't even know that you've got the DUI?
No.
Wow.
How did the big job hunt go on over the weekend?
I went out looking around my house, around that area, because
it's got to be walking.
Yeah, I may need to walk to jobs.
All right, from what I hear about you getting a DUI, particularly when you tried to use the breathalyzer, you threw up on it, which I can't even believe, Sid. But it's going to be an automatic loss of license, as far as I know. 866-277-4969. And the one reason I wish you would get in touch with your parents is that you may need a lawyer for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to talk to them about it, so I'm trying to find a job this week so that I can move back in and discuss it with them and everything like that.
So they won't, like, if you try to call them, they hang up on you, or what?
And say this is an emergency?
No, they said they didn't even want to see me until I get a job, so.
Yeah. So you know that you could get in touch with them. You're just not doing it until you have good news along with your horrible news.
Yes, I'd like that's something good.
Are you an only child?
No. I have a younger brother.
Oh, God. Let's hope he works out. Let's hope it works out for him.
For your parents' sake. For their sanity. So have you, where are you living if you're not allowed in the house?
I'm staying at my friend's house till I get a job. And he lives right down the street, so.
Right down the street from your parents?
Yeah.
How are you getting here?
Driving. My license isn't suspended yet.
Oh, okay, so you're still able to drive.
You don't go in front of the judge until...
September 2nd.
September 2nd. So you've got a whole crazy summer left in front of you.
Yes.
You've got 1 month, basically, to figure out what you're going to do job-wise, transportation-wise, and living condition-wise.
Yeah, well, if I can get a job close to my house, I'll be able to move back and walk and stuff like that.
Now, what are your parents... Because the job you lost was a really decent job.
Right.
You were making good jack for a kid your age.
Mm-hmm.
What are your parents going to say if you end up taking some sort of, fast food job? I know the Bush administration counts it, but...
Well, they'll be happier than if I had no job at all.
And then somebody, and everybody dimes out about you. Somebody was telling me that your insurance and your car payment is about $800 a month.
What?
Yes.
What are you driving?
Blazer, Chevy Blazer.
What's the car payment on that?
It's $400 a month, and then the insurance is $400 a month.
Why are you paying $400 a month?
That's just what I was paying.
Why do you need a Chevy Blazer? Is it brand new?
It's $2,000. It's not brand new.
Yeah. So $800 a month. That's why your parents. Now, are they paying it right now?
Yes, until I get a job.
So, all right, so they're going to have the $800 a month for you, plus the probably $3-4K it's going to cost for a lawyer, and then it's probably going to cost you a couple of K in fines, right?
Right, up to $2,500.
Up to $2,500.
And you're going to have to keep making payments on a truck you're not allowed to get behind the wheel of for 6 months.
Yeah, $800 a month for something I can't use.
Why are you smiling, Sid?
For something to keep your books in.
I've got to be able to laugh at it.
I'm going to tell you right now. You almost got smacked by me and Fezzi. We were so disappointed in you Friday night.
I was furious the whole rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
It kept creeping into my mind, and I'm going, son of a bitch, Sid.
One of the things that had me even upset is that you were getting smacked around at the bar, too. I was just, everything about it drove me crazy. And I got a long email from Perry over the weekend saying that I jumped on his case too much. And it really is, you know, you are 19. It doesn't mean that you're an adult, because obviously you weren't allowed to drink at that bar that you got busted at or driving home from. So I think the older guy should be keeping an eye out for you. But at the same time, it is your responsibility as well.
I can't imagine being one of the older guys and wanting to sit there and drink with a 19-year-old knowing that something bad could happen. If he gets busted, who got him the booze?
All right, now you've taken it back in that direction, Fez.
Identifying with the older person and the parent?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you've never been partying with a younger guy before?
You know what? I don't think so.
What age did you start drinking?
Well, 16, but we were all too young then.
Right. You got to start hanging around with people your own age, Sid. And you got to stop hanging out here at the radio station. I don't know if this is the right time for you doing an internship. Not that you're not doing good work here, but I'm just worried about your whole life altogether.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but I'd like to. I only have a month left in the internship anyway, so I'd like to at least finish that month.
All right. 866-277-4969. Here's Joe. Joe, you're on Running Fez.
Hey, Running Fez. How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Listen, I'm calling. I'm down in Miami, Florida. I'm originally from Virginia, but I'm in the Coast Guard. I got stationed down here. So I wanted to call up and say, hey, and ask how everything's going up in Virginia.
Everything's going well here. Now, why aren't you guarding the coast of Virginia?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I begged. I said, please don't send me to Miami. I heard it's horrible down there.
That's the one place.
Now, the worst thing about being in the Coast Guard in Miami is occasionally you've got to be the guy who takes the guy who's come all the way over from Cuba on a rubber raft, pick him up, and drag him back. And that's like the saddest TV that we have right now.
Yeah, it's kind of rough, but you kind of numb yourself to it. But you know what? It kind of changes when you're going up to the raft, and it's like 8 guys with machetes.
You think it's a little scary?
Yeah, then your opinion on feeling bad for them kind of changes a little bit. Just a little.
Do you think they're willing to kill to get into the country?
Probably. Probably. And that's the sad thing.
You know, it's always the weirdest thing to me is like people will feel so sorry for the Cubans or Haitians that don't get into the country, and no one feels sorry for the Mexicans that don't get into the country.
Oh, with that we need bigger fences. That's the argument.
Well, we ought to have attack dogs running.
That's true. And what happens is down here you get a lot, because a lot of these people, you know, they are Cuban, and so it's not just that they feel sorry for them, it's that everybody's really vicious down here sometimes about not letting them in. They're just like, hey, you know, I don't want to joke around about it, but that's my uncle. It's bitter.
Yeah, I lived in that area before, and you really know what it's like to be a minority as an English-speaking white person when you live in South Florida.
Where did you live in South Florida?
I was in Plantation.
Oh, okay.
I lived in a retirement community in Hallandale.
You're in Hallandale. Okay, I'm in Coconut Grove.
No, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Coconut Grove is where we would go to party.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. It's a cool place. It's a fun place to live.
All right, brother, how long are you in for?
I got 3 years commitment left, but, you know, who knows if I'll stay in or not. But I like it right now. So.
Yeah, everybody loves the Coast Guard that's in it, but you got to get Ocean City, Maryland. That's where you want to go.
Yeah, man, that'd be good. But thanks for letting me call up.
Anytime at all. Stay in touch.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. Here's Scott. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez. This is Scott. I'm a DUI defense attorney. I want to talk to Sid.
He's right here, Scott.
Sid, well, where did this happen?
This happened in Fairfax.
Fairfax City or Fairfax County?
Fairfax City.
Fairfax City. So your court date's when?
September 2nd.
And this is the first offense?
Yeah.
So they're trying to scare you, telling you $2,500 fine and all this stuff. You're not looking at that. You're looking at a couple $100, maybe 2 days in jail, and you get a restricted driver's license to drive to and from work.
What about the fact that he threw up on the breathalyzer?
We can mitigate that.
Yeah, because he had the flu, probably.
Well, was he drunk? Who knows? Did you get a reading on it?
No, they didn't get any reading.
Or did they charge you with a refusal?
I think it was an automatic refusal since I couldn't take it.
They didn't offer you a blood test?
I think they tried that, too.
And wait, you threw up on the needle?
So you can barely remember any of this, Sid.
No, I barely remember much of it.
Why were you that drunk on a Thursday night? What was the point? You don't.
Thursday.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. You don't know where you're at on a Thursday night at 19 years old. I mean, you when you start drinking, you don't have a cutoff time for yourself.
No, I did not have one. I didn't have to work early the next day, so I had no cutoff time.
You knew you were driving yourself home? None of that stuff scares you?
That wasn't the original plan. The original plan, I was going to get a ride from Fairfax Mike.
What happened there?
And then I guess the whole fight happened, and I decided to leave by myself.
Why didn't somebody stop you?
Don't know.
I mean, if you're puking, you wouldn't have been that hard to stop. You wouldn't be that hard to stop sober.
He doesn't know. He had no idea what he was doing that night, Fez. Hey, Beth, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, you guys. I love both of you.
Thank you.
And I just got back from helping my nephew move. He's going to law school at St. Thomas in Miami.
Sure.
And so I was staying at his apartment in Fort Lauderdale. And I know when Fezzi was talking about Hallandale Beach, I saw the big balloon there. It's like green and red and yellow.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's the big Hallandale landmark there.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to.
Oh, my God. I love you guys. You're the best.
Fezzi always used to go shopping with the old ladies and their Jamaican maids.
At Ventura Mall?
Yeah, Aventura Mall.
Too.
That's a great mall.
It's got some good jewelry.
Is that the one shaped like a gator?
No, that's Sawgrass Mills.
I don't think so.
An enormous mall, and I mean enormous, mile long or something, and it's shaped like an alligator.
I don't know, but I love you guys, and I moved here from Texas, and I want to come meet you. So I
Yeah,
want to
come in any night.
Can I come in?
Yeah, I'm going to put you on hold, and the kids will talk to you.
I'd like to bring you guys something.
Actually, the little freak, I'll put you on with Chapin, who seems to be after all the ladies. Remember we had Shelly come in here?
Yep.
I got an email from her today saying that her neighbor, her girlfriend neighbor, had a little crush on Chapin and wants to hook up with him. And I'm like, he will. Don't worry about it.
No problem.
I've talked to him enough. He will.
He's the parting gifts that a lot of guests get.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Two.
I just wanted to talk for just a second about the DUI and the insurance and everything.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had the same thing happen when he was 20 years old. He had a perfect record up until the DUI. And if that guy's already paying $400 for his insurance, he's going to be lucky if he doesn't get dropped upon conviction. And if they do keep him, or if he does get dropped, he's going to have to go to MAIF, or whatever state fund they have. And when that happened to my friend, his one DUI when he was 20 years old, and he had to go on the state insurance program, and it was $1,100 a month for insurance. So
I might as well hit stuff at $1,100 a month.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, at 19, it's a real sad way to start your adult driving.
Hey, he's a party boy. He's a party boy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'll be taking the bus real soon, and for years and years to come. He's going to stay on his record until he's 25, probably.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Sid, when you got picked up for the DUI, you were going the wrong way on a street. Did you realize when you saw the flashing lights that that's what you were getting pulled over for?
Yeah, I did.
Had you figured it out by then?
Or did you think you're back at the disco and you just started doing your little Saturday Night Fever dance?
Disco Sid.
I figured when I saw the lights that I was getting pulled over for a DUI, but I didn't know I was on the wrong side of the road yet.
So when you pulled over, did you end up on the right side of the road? It's weird.
All right, this on the instant feedback here. Maybe if his mom and dad could have eased off the kid after he lost his job and he was down on his luck. I don't know the whole story, but sometimes stuff like that leads to something horrible like a DUI. He's 19, jobless, homeless, overweight. It's not easy for Sid. Sid, what do you think about that?
Are you reading from the script of Tommy Boy?
It does come off that way. What do you feel about that, Sid?
That sounded exactly like my life.
Is that why you're drinking like that?
I think a little bit.
It's not like the old days where you can get away with drinking and driving. It's, you got to give either the credit or the blame to the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. But over the last 15 years or so, they have just completely changed the way people react to DUIs.
Yeah, there's no leeway in the rules or laws whatsoever.
Hey, Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Sid, your little brother idolized you. That's an incentive to try to improve your life.
How old's your little brother?
He is 16 now.
Yeah. Does he idolize you?
No.
I can't imagine that he would.
Oh, this is just like the...
Well, I met his mother and son at the summer school registration, and his little brother was carrying a picture of Sid, said, "Hey, this is my brother, Cigar Sid." So he was showing everybody his picture.
All right, what do you think of that, Sid?
That I had no idea about.
All right. Now, does that change the way you feel about things?
It makes me feel good, yeah.
That makes you feel good?
Yeah, that my little brother's proud of me.
Why did you think that he wasn't?
I don't... me and him have never really gotten along that well.
Hey, if he tells a whole bunch of strangers that, here's my brother, and, shows your picture, and he says, do you guys know Ron and Fez, and he's on Ron and Fez, he's Cigar Sid. If he tells strangers that he's proud of his brother, I think, that should be an incentive for you.
Is it incentive at all, Sid, or no?
Yeah, it is.
Or is he just carrying the picture onto the short bus so they know who to drop him off with after?
Stop. Thank you very much, Greg.
This is just like that commercial, that pot commercial they got on TV now, where the little brother's throwing the ball up against the fence, and he goes, when they sentenced my brother to 20 years, they sentenced me to 20 years without my best friend. This is just like that.
Maybe you can get a picture of Sid behind bars. Hey, have you guys ever been passed to jail? Here's my brother. He got raped yesterday on a DUI.
Those are the only bars you're going to be allowed in. Have you drank since the DUI?
No, not at all.
No, that one guy said you might do a couple days. You nervous about that?
A little bit.
Yeah. Because you don't look like you can handle yourself in prison. You don't look like you've ever been in a real fight in your life.
I think he looks like a young George Kennedy.
Yeah.
My thing is I always like to talk it out.
Yeah, well, no one talks things out in prison.
Let's just sit down and talk about it.
Normally I would say this. You go into the jail, you go into the yard, you find the biggest guy, you smack him on the end of the nose, let people know how you're doing. Here's my advice for you, Sid. You're a big kid, right? How big are you?
I am 6 foot 280.
6 foot 280. I want you to go into the yard, you find the biggest, scariest looking guy in the place, start making out with him. And just get used to it. Why not enjoy yourself?
Just kind of waddle into the yard with your pants around your ankles already, where you're doing just that short shimmy across the lawn.
Here's Lamont. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez. Great show. I like you guys a lot.
Thank you.
I'm a Fairfax County police officer, and I have to tell you something, kid, that 80% of the people in jail in Fairfax County are under driving offenses. If you do not go into that place with a lawyer, you're going to jail, hands down, period. They throw you in jail on spec. So you better take a lawyer in.
All right.
That's your only chance.
Now, why are there so many people in jail in Fairfax County on driving charges?
Because Fairfax County gets money for everybody that's in jail. You pay Fairfax County for being in jail. So when you come out of Fairfax County prison or detention center, you owe them money.
Now, most of the time, it's all DUIs?
It's DUIs, driving suspended. I mean, just crazy things. I had to take a guy in there one time, and he was just driving. He was reckless driving. They threw him in jail. He didn't have a lawyer.
All right, Sid.
You don't have a lawyer, you're going to jail, hands down.
Well, now we know where the nice buildings came from.
There are big buildings in Fairfax County. Incredibly, I mean, it looks like Star Wars buildings for the county buildings. I've never seen anything like it. All right, so you listening to this, Sid?
Yeah. Got to try to get a lawyer.
You got to try to tell your parents finally.
Sid, right now, there's a no-tolerance law, and judges do not have any
tolerance for drunk driving. And since you are under 21, they are definitely going to put you in jail if you don't take a lawyer. You are so close to jail right now, and you don't understand. And you're going to get at least 30 days. Whoa!
You better take a lawyer in. I've seen a guy go in for driving a suspended license. He missed his court date, and they wanted to give him 30 days for driving unsuspended and 30 days for missing the court date. And they gave it to him. They sent him in. He didn't have a lawyer.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's from a police officer, Sid, who, see, I know that you're young and nothing can happen to you, but I'd have a lawyer. And it's going to cost you a few grand, you know that.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to my parents and try to get one.
Why? It's Monday. I mean, we had this discussion on Friday. You still haven't talked to your family. They don't let you live at the house. Why are they going to pay for a lawyer?
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's time to sell the 2000 Chevy Blazer.
And get off that $800 a month nut you got hanging over you.
Because you're going to end up like the fat kid at the beginning of Shawshank Redemption.
Here's Sam. Sam, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys. How are you? Great show.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to find out from Sid, enough about himself. How's he going to feel if he kills somebody? If he continues to do this?
I have no doubt that if he hadn't been stopped just about immediately leaving that bar, he would have hurt someone.
Well, the fact that he was driving and doesn't remember anything that happened lets you know that you weren't just a little buzzed. You were wrecked, Sid.
Yeah. You were unconscious at the wheel.
And throwing up on the breathalyzer and staggering around. And you were crying in there, too, I hear. You were crying in front of the cops.
I was not crying in front of the cop.
Really, Nick Carter.
What's that?
What did you say to him? Did you bring up Ron Fez?
No, I didn't.
Tell the truth.
I didn't bring up Ron Fez at all.
You made a huge mistake. You slap that name down, you get out of anything. Hey, Mike, you're on Ron Fez.
Radio Dog.
What's up, buddy?
Ron, you're starting to sound like an old man.
I know.
You're busting Sid's balls, and I know just from what you say on the radio that at 19 years old you were doing a hell of a lot worse than Sid.
And you know what? I'm going to absolutely agree with you 100%. There's two differences, okay? Number one, the difference is the laws were different then, and you could get away with a lot more. I'm not saying it was any safer or whatever. The law was different. Number two, not being 19, I know what happens to you in life when you get behind the eight ball, and I don't want the kid to do it. Now, does that mean that I lived any better than Sid? Believe me when I tell you, myself and the crowd I ran with would have chewed up Sid and spit him out when I was 14 years old. When I was 14 years old, I was crazier than Sid. But again, I've lived that life, and there's things I would change. And even differently, the laws were not the same when I was your age, Sid. You could get away with more. Society was different. Society has changed since then. If you listen to this radio station, every time we run an alcohol commercial, we have to run a commercial about the dangers of drunk driving. This kind of stuff was out the thing years before. 10 years ago, we used to do big drinking nights at different clubs. You can't get away with it anymore. When we go out and do the shows that we have now, the lawyers look at everything because people who come to see us are going to have drinks there. And what are the ways that they have home? Is there going to be taxis prepared? Everything has changed 1,000,000%.
Sid, you are living in a different world. Do you understand that?
Well, it's the same world, Fez.
No,
don't act like I'm from Jupiter. But everything that guy says, yes, I am guilty of. It doesn't mean that what I'm not saying right now is not the absolute truth. Here is Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing, guys?
Cool in the gang, my friend.
Hey, I'd like to say something in Sid's favor, though. I think he's showing real character by wanting to finish up his month with you guys rather than do the easy thing that a quitter would do and just say, oh, it's going to be too difficult. I mean, I hope he's not in jail for his last month and all.
Yeah.
But I think he's really showing character.
Well,
I wish he'd continue that and, go to the family and be upright and straight with them about his problem now.
I mean, one of the things that's happened with Sid is I know for a fact that he loves radio. He likes hanging out here. He likes hanging out with the Hideout. He likes everything to do with radio. And I know, and that's part of what has me, I felt guilty Friday night. I think that was part of my anger Friday night, is that I knew that you were hanging out with guys that you wouldn't have even met if you hadn't known us and came to the radio station. And I was like, part of me was thinking, none of us, and I'm talking about me, Fez, Dubs, El Jefe, are keeping an eye out for you. And that you're a lot less mature than the guys who work here at the radio station.
Well, it was my choice to go hang out with those guys. I mean, it wasn't anything you guys did.
Yeah. I know. It's not. What I'm trying to say is maybe you're not prepared to do that yet. Because you're at the thing now, if somebody's offering to buy you shots, you're going to sit there and bang them off the bar when you don't have a house to go home to, when you don't have another job to go home to, and when you're paying $800 for a car that you don't know how to pay off.
One of us should have been there just to negotiate his monthly payments.
I know. That's another thing I'm angry about.
Here comes Junior Samples into the car lot. Let's get this rube. The used car lot.
All right, we got to take a break here. We'll be back in just a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.